Welcome to Ask the Mountlake Terrace Cop. I'm Teresa Whipple. Hello, Sergeant Lowe.
Good morning.
We're going to talk today about a recent incident where there was an active shooting situation at the Cascade Mall in Burlington, which I think raises the question that a lot of us have thought about as citizens, that when are we in a public place that something like that could happen to us, and what kinds of tips would you have as a police officer for people who might be wondering what they should do if they end up in a place like that and somebody starts shooting?
Well, first of all, it's such a horrible tragedy, and we see this on the news quite often, and it's usually in another state or in another country. And
not a few miles away.
Now it's a few miles away, and it's really scary. There's definitely some things that people should consider. And I say this all the time. I do a safety seminar where I talk about having a plan quite a bit. I think we've done other segments here about having a plan. And that's the first thing that you should do every time you're out in public, is have a plan. And it seems like, well, I'm going to make a plan every time I'm out in public to protect myself. Well, sure, you're protecting yourself and possibly your family too. So when I walk into a store or a mall or a business, my first thought is, where are the exits? And where is a place I could hide? Or if I had to run away, where could I run to? Or what could I use for an improvised weapon if I had to? So having a plan is so important. And think about that when you walk into a store. Think about scenarios of what are you going to tell your kids? Or what are you going to tell your significant other that's walking with you if you get separated? Having a plan is super important. So some other things to think about are, and this is something that you can go on to the internet and you can look this up, and it'll give you great detail on how to utilize these little tips. And it's basically run, hide, and fight. And at pretty much any active shooter training, they're going to discuss run, hide, and fight. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to run away from the situation. You want to get away if possible. You don't want to be anywhere near where the bad guy is doing whatever bad thing is that he's doing. So the next thing, if you can't run because the exits are blocked, then you're going to want to hide. Find a place to barricade yourself in, get as small as you can, and hide from the situation. And if you can't do that, you may be forced to fight. That would be the last situation you'd want to get yourself into, but it's a possibility to protect yourself, to protect your family, or maybe protect some citizen who you don't even know. You may have to fight with somebody. And any three of these may happen out of order, but ultimately that's what you would want to do is run, and then hide, and then fight.
And you're right, it does seem a little unnatural, I think, to most of us who don't have training like you do, to think about I'm just going to go run to the store for milk or whatever, and then you're thinking, well, gosh, where are those? How would I get out if something like that happened? What would I do? I think it takes a little bit of a shift in mindset to think that way.
It really does, and it's all about personal awareness too. So you want to just be aware of your surroundings. You want to always train in your brain, is what I say. So I think about that quite often, and I understand I'm a police officer and I'm a trainer, and this is what I think about, but pretty much every citizen that I talk to, it can't hurt. It can't hurt to have a plan. It can't hurt to think about what you're going to do, and then if a bad thing happens, you've already thought about it. You've already developed a plan. And it only takes a few seconds to look around a store that you're in and decide, oh, here are the exits. There's an emergency exit. There's a security guard standing over there. Here's a place I could hide. That's it. You can walk into a store and just take a few seconds to have a quick plan.
Okay, great. That's really good to know. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll be back again soon with another episode of Ask the Mountlake Terrace Cop.